All right, kids, so today we're going to be working on exactly what we have been working on. It's just a little bit of a step further. So it's adjusting quotients. You guys do not need to do notes because, like I said, it's what we've already been doing. But go ahead and go to page 275. This is actually the homework page. And on the homework page, we're going to try a couple of these because you might notice that some of the problems have 3 digits in the dividend, but some will have 4 digits in the dividend. Digits in the dividend. I can't say that. Okay, so I know that if there's 4 digits here, I'm going to be dividing a lot. I'm not sure this is enough room for me, so I'm going to go ahead and work up here. So I'll do 1,204 is my dividend, and we're dividing that by 86. Okay, so the only thing really different here is, like I said, there's going to be sometimes 4 digits in the dividend. Holy moly, can't say that. But also, there's going to be some times where I'm going to say, okay, 86 goes into 120 2 times, and that might not work because that would be too high. So remember the other day 2 days ago, we were making the little number bank over here, the multiplication bank, so that we could use those numbers. We want to do that again. So I'll show you. So let's start. 86 goes into 1. Nope, not going to happen. 86 goes into 12. Nope, not going to happen. 86 goes into 120. Yeah, we can do that. 1 times 86 is 86. So hopefully you guys remember your subtraction skills because we have a bottom bigger borrow situation. We can't take 0 minus 6. That won't work. So we'll borrow from next door. 2 becomes 1. This 0 becomes 10. 10 minus 6 is 4. 1 minus 8, that's not going to happen. So let's borrow again. This is now 11 minus 8 is 34. Okay, let's bring down this 4. Okay, so this is where it starts to get really tricky. So what I do is I change this 86 and I say it's a 9. And I look at this number and I kind of round up and I say 9. 9 goes into 34. I kind of just forget about this number, just like I kind of forgot about that number. So 9 goes into 34. Let's try 9 times. Let's say 9 goes into the 4 3 times. So let's do 86 times 3. So 6 times 3 is 18. 3 times 8 is 24, plus 1 is 25. That seems awfully low, doesn't it? So let's try 86 times 4. And again, see how I'm making this multiplication bank over here? Don't get rid of it. 6 times 4 is 24. 4 times 8 is 32, plus 2 is 34. Hey, there's my number. So that 4 goes up here. 4 times 86 is 344. So that's what they're saying, adjusting quotients, because look, I tried 3, it didn't work, so I adjusted it down to 4. That's what they're saying by adjusting quotients. Okay, so now I know that number 2 is 14. And there's my work right there, right? And I know what I should do so that my teacher knows that this is number 2. Just put the number by it, and that way your teacher can look and be like, hey, there's the work for it. Okay, cool. All right, so let's try. I'm actually going to go to your work paper for today. This is page 273. Let's try one on here. We'll try some of the ones with the really big numbers so that it's helpful to you. And actually, before I start, I'm going to kind of make some boxes here. I feel like I'm going to have a lot going on. So by making boxes, I can kind of see what I have here. So I'm looking at this going, gosh, am I going to be able to fit the multiplication over here and the division here? And I know I'm not going to be able to. So I'm going to go grab a piece of paper so I can write on there. Okay, so now I feel prepared. So I have number 6 here. We'll do number 6. So I'm going to very clearly mark number 6 on my paper here. And I'll start dividing. So I have 1,728 divided by 72. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to go ahead and leave this just for my answer, and I'll do all my work here, and then I'll turn in this paper so I know I can get credit. All right, so can 72 go into 1? Absolutely not. Can 72 go into 17? Nope. Can 72 go into 172? And yes. So let's try 72. I know that 7 times 2 is 14. So let's try 2. 2 times 2 is 4. 2 times 7 is 14. Okay. So then I look at this number and I go, well, maybe that's kind of small. Let's try 72 times 3. I'm pretty sure it's not going to work, but why don't we try just in case? So 3 times 2 is 6. 3 times 7 is 21. Oh, that's way too big. Again, am I going to get rid of this? No, because I might need it later. So let's try 2 times. 2 times 72, we just found out was 144. Okay, let's subtract it out. Bottom bigger borrow. So this becomes a 6. This is a 12. 12 minus 4 is 8. 6 minus 4 is 2, and then nothing here. Okay, so now let's bring down the 8. And again, I know that I did a good job because 28 is smaller than my divisor here. Okay, so now I have 72 into 288, and uh-oh, look at this. What do I know about 144 and 248? I know that that's probably double, so let's do 72 times 4. Because 3 was not quite enough. So let's try 4. 2 times 4 is 8. 4 times 7 is 28. Okay, so then that's it. So here's my numbers. Okay, so that's not super hard. There's just a lot of steps. So my answer here is 24, so I'm going to come over here and write 24 as my answer. Now, if you just turn this into your teacher, we're going to think, that person didn't do any of the work. But if you turn this in along with this, we're going to know that you did all the work. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and separate off this whole section because I know that I take up a lot of space. Okay, let's try number 10 right here. So we'll do 2,712 divided by 64. Okay, so 64 goes into 2. No, of course not. Can 64 go into 27? No. Can 64 go into 271? Yes, it can. Let's see how many times. So I know that 6 goes into 27 4 times, which would give us 24. So let's try that. 4 times 4 is 16. Carry the 1. 4 times 6 is 24, plus 1 is 25. So that looks pretty good. And I know that if I added another 64 to that, that would be too much. So we'll do 4 times 64 is 256. And subtract that out. Okay, bottom bigger borrow, so we'll have to subtract, or we'll have to borrow here. 11 minus 6 is 5. 6 minus 5 is 1. 2 minus 2 is done. Okay, let's bring down our 2. And let's look. Okay, let's say, let's try 64 times 2. 4 times 2 is 8. 2 times 6 is 12. So let's see. Let's try that. Okay, 128. Bottom bigger borrow. So that becomes a 4. This becomes a 12. 12 minus 8 is 4. 4 minus 2 is 2. And again, this is smaller than my divisor, so I'm good to go. So it's 42 with a remainder of 24. Now, let me put the number here so I have more room. I've heard 5th graders say before, no, that can't be right. 24 is way too big to be a remainder. I can have any remainder as long as it's less than 64. So even 63 could have been my remainder. It just can't be more than your remainder.